What's up, gang? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Janique. Thank you so much for tuning back in today. If you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate you so much for trusting me with your content. However, if this is your first time joining me, make sure you lock into the channel by clicking on that subscribe button and also click on the notification bell. That way you don't miss an episode of anything that I do here. Today I'm going to be explaining to you how to tell if a person is the one. So if you're interested in hearing more about that topic, make sure you stick around until the end of the video. Let's go ahead and hop into it.
I look like money, grab the camera, I'll say cheese. What am I supposed to do? When my life look like my pictures do. What? He still ain't posted you. Come let me show you what you supposed to do. Go, bounce up on that dude. Go show these niggas they can't F with you. Look what you made me do. I gotta show you how real I'm.
I hate that it's 2024 and people are still out here being a fool for love. They allow people to scam them. They allow people to bamboozle them. They allow people to hoodwink them, to pull the wool over their eyes. They allow it in their face every single day, and they're continuing to move along with this person, Hopefully what I'm describing is not something that you're facing, but again, today I will tell you how to tell if a person is the one for you. I want to start off by saying you'll be able to tell if a person is the one for you because they'll treat you like you're the one for them as well. And not only will they treat you like that, but they'll do it from the beginning. It won't take a couple of failed talking stages. It won't take a few of those situationship stages for them to figure out that you're the one. They'll treat you like they know who you are from the very first time that you meet. A man is consistent from the beginning, and it doesn't take a bunch of tries for him to figure out if you're the one. He'll tell you up front. And you know, I can honestly say from the day I met my man, like every day he shows up, every single day. And that's hard to find out here in these streets. So again, a man will treat you like the one for them as well from the beginning. Now, you don't want to pick a man based off superficial standards. You want to pick a man based off his love for you. Because at the end of the day, everybody's out here picking a man with money, but the man with money don't even like them. They're using them, abusing them, consuming them. I mean, they're doing all kinds of things to make sure you stay in their life, but honestly, they're not capable of maintaining a relationship with a healed or whole person. So of course they're gonna stick with you if you don't care if they like you or not. So you want to find you a partner who from the day that y'all meet, they're serious, they're honest, they're open, they're loyal, they're trustworthy, they show up every single day. That's the type of person who shows you that they're the one for you, because it's all about actions. It's not really about words. What a person says is definitely important. I don't want to say that you shouldn't listen to what a person says at all. What they say is going to be important, but it's only important because you need their words to prove whether or not they're telling the truth. How do you find that they're telling the truth? By lining up their words with their actions. Now, if a man tells you that you're the one, that he wants to marry you, yet he goes all day without talking to you, he goes weeks without seeing you, he makes no effort to date you, to court you, he's not trying to get to know you, he's not including you in any of his future plans, I hate to tell you, but he is lying. He's lying. If a man tells you that he is waiting until he becomes financially responsible to even enter into a relationship, like he won't even call you his girl until his money is up, he's not the one for you. Because a man who wants you, he doesn't care if his money is up or not. He's going to go get the money. So you won't even have to worry about that part. You feel what I'm saying? So if a man uses money as an excuse to not be with you, again, he's lying. You have to match up the actions with the words. If a man says that you're the only woman that he talks to, yet he's on his phone 24/7 and he ain't talking to you, guess what? He's lying. He's talking to someone else. It's clear. You have to match up their actions with their words. Now, when you're going about this journey of figuring out if this person is the one for you or not, you're going to be matching energy, but keeping it cute. Okay? So, Janique, what do you mean by matching energy? I mean, you're going to mirror a man, okay? And vice versa. If there's any men listening, you're going to mirror a woman. So if he's not calling you, guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to call him. Let me put my hands down. I don't need them. But If a man's not texting you, guess what you're not going to do? That's right, you're not going to text him. Okay? Now, I know what you're saying. Oh my God, what if I never hear from him again? I like him. Oh my God, he's perfect, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Valid. That's a valid question. But that's how you know if he's the one for you. If he never communicates with you again, guess what? He's not the one. But if he communicates with you, guess what? He's still trying to be in the running, okay? Now, I don't care if a man communicates with me or not. Now, and this is going to be excluding my man. This is talking about my man. Pre-relationship, right? I don't care if a man communicates with me or not. Because guess what? If he doesn't communicate with me, we'll never communicate again. And I'm okay with that. So that's another thing when it comes to communication. You have to be okay with not communicating. If a man knows you're okay with not communicating, guess what he's going to do? He's going to communicate. I know men are weird like that. I don't know why. Up means down, down means up with them. I don't know. But again, you have to match energy, okay? Men don't like to be chased because it's not in their natural order. That's not their natural process. That's not how they were created. They weren't created to be chased. They were created to do the chasing. So that's why it confuses them when you're calling them, blowing up their phone, texting them first, texting them a million times, popping up at their home and stuff. It confuses a man because he wants to chase you. I promise you. So if he's not chasing you, guess what? He ain't the one. Okay? Now, again, I just mentioned something about popping up. So, yeah, like I said, if a man ain't popping up on you, guess what you're not going to do? You're not popping up on him. Period. I don't care if y'all did it last night. I don't care. I don't care if he's on your cell phone playing. I don't care about any of that. If he does not pull up to your crib unannounced, you don't do it to him. You know why? Because he going to tell people that you crazy. He going to act like you crazy when you do it. I'm telling you, I've seen this firsthand. Now, this brings me back to a story. I was dating this guy, and we were pretty serious very, very early. But after a few weeks, he started acting weird, so I started thinking there was probably somebody else in the picture or something he was not telling me. So he made a habit of popping up to my home, right? He'll pop up if I'm not answering the phone or something like that, but I could be asleep. Who knows what I was doing? So this one particular day, I was talking to him in the morning, but he hadn't reached back out to me for the rest of the day, right? Now, he lived fairly close, within like 5 to 10 minutes. So I pulled up to his home, right? And when I pulled up to his home, he had his sister there, a couple of his cousins, his sister boyfriend and stuff like that. But he was trying to basically hype up what I did, hype up me pulling up on him. So he like, man, look who here, look at it. Hey, she acting crazy. Like, he's trying to make a bunch of jokes. But I'm like, you pull up to my crib all the time. I'm confused. You wasn't answering the phone. So when I don't answer the phone, you do the same thing. But that told me right there, he wasn't the one for me. Now, God exposed this to me because he let it slip out of his mouth that he left his charger in his baby mother's car. And so I'm like, okay, when were you in your baby mama's car? He's talking about when I went to get her oil change. Now, this guy was already on thin ice. Now, I don't mind if you're going to get your baby mama oil change, but you're going to communicate about that first. And you're going to take my car, too, because if you don't get her oil change, you're going to be getting mine done, too, or you can be with her. So, but if I wouldn't have popped up, I wouldn't have known that information. But again, you only do it if the man is doing it, too, right? Now, he took it upon himself to try to be funny in front of his family members when I popped up that day. Now, that was cool. I broke up with that behind a day later, okay? So this brings me to my next point. Like, if a man ain't taking you seriously, don't take them seriously. You'll know a man is taking you seriously because he's going to be present every single day. He does not want to miss a day, period. He don't want no call, no shows. He ain't trying to get fired on his day off. He will be present. Period. So that guy I just told you guys about me doing a pop-up on, how did I know he wasn't the one for me? Let me tell you about this. He was very serious. He wanted to jump into a relationship super early, super quick and everything. But he ended up letting the cat out of the bag. The reason he had been acting weird for the past few weeks is he had 2 kids on the way. Yes, wow. 2 pregnancies. He had 2 big ones under his belt. Not to mention, he already had a kid. But you know what's weird to me? It's like, who tries to date another woman, a third woman, when they already have 2 kids on the way? It's insanity to me. A person like that is not the one for you, I promise you. If he got 2 kids on the way, if he got any kids on the way, guess what? He ain't the one. I'm here to tell you. He is not the one. Why he not with the girl he got pregnant? That's always my first question. Why are you not with your baby mama? She's pregnant. And I do not want any man who's not going to stick by a woman while she's pregnant. That's one of your most vulnerable times. So if he leaves her while she's pregnant, what am I supposed to think that he's going to do to me? The same thing. So, no. So like I was saying, if a man doesn't take you seriously, don't take him seriously. Period. Don't put him at the top of your roster. I know some of y'all out here still got rosters. Don't put him at the top of your roster. Don't show him any extra special attention. I'm telling you, match his energy. And you give him a trial period on that because you don't want to keep on matching energy. The matching energy portion is just for a short period of time because matching energy is supposed to breed results. So when you match a person's energy, you're supposed to recognize, okay, this person is doing to me what I'm doing to them. So I'm going to adjust my behavior so they can do the same. That's what a person is supposed to do. So within a week of you matching energy, in a week, I'm really being generous. And I'm being generous for the sake of this video because my patience, my tolerance for BS is extremely low. So I'll never give a person a week for real to match their energy. Really, I got like 72 hours for you. I'm going to make a video about my 72-hour rule in the future, but 72 hours. I'm going to give you 72 hours to get your mind right. If you don't have it right within that first 72, y'all get it, like first 48. Anyway, like that first 72, then I have nothing else for you, okay? Now, another point I want to point out, because women out here are doing this. Now, if a man is not giving you no money, no funds, no dinero, no cheese, no moolah, what my man say? No money. If a man is giving you no money, then you should not be giving him nothing. He shouldn't be getting anything from you. Anything. Nothing. None of your time, none of your energy, none of your nothing. Period. But especially not no money. You know, one time, let me tell y'all this story. One time, I was dating this guy. I actually had a roommate at the time, and the roommate had a homegirl who had dated the guy before me. I had no clue. I knew the homegirl too, but I had no clue. And after I got with the guy, my roommate told the homegirl, and the homegirl came to me as a woman, right? Now, when she did this, she told me that she was reaching out to me, not because she wanted him back or anything. But because she had let him borrow $100 and she wanted the money back, right? So for the life of me, I'm like, why would she tell me she gave a man money? Like, I would have took that to the grave with me. Oh my God, why is she telling me? So she tells me, Janique, I want you to get the money back for me. But of course I don't entertain this girl, right? But he tells me, no, Janique, I did not ask her for any money. She gave me money. She paid for the room that we were in. She even bought breakfast the next morning. So this is how I know that these women out here are paying these men for their time and for their you know what. Okay, you don't want to be one of those, because I'm telling you, if he know you one of those, then he gonna tell a bunch of other dudes, and guess what? Then you gonna be the talk of the town, and that's all they gonna know you for tricking off on a man. And we don't do that. Period. Long story short, the girl didn't end up getting her money back. She actually retaliated by doing a couple of things to his vehicles. And I talked about this in depth in another video, so I'll make sure I tag that here. But I'm telling y'all, don't pay for a man. Period. If a man hits you with big money, if he calls you that, he's not the one. Okay? If a man invites you out and he gets you to pay or tries to get you to pay, he's not the one. Now, I'm not talking about people you're in a relationship with. Be clear. This is pre-relationship. This is talking stage. This is getting to know each other. This is dating stage. This is not if you're in a relationship. Okay? If you're in a relationship, of course, you may give your man some money. I don't care what you do in your relationship, because you're matching energy. So if a man bought you a bunch of stuff for your birthday and his birthday is rolling around, do the same. If he took you out to a bunch of dinners, the least you could do, take him out to dinner once. I'm not against any of that, but I'm saying don't be out here tricking off on a man who ain't even your man, who ain't did nothing for you. I'm not understanding that. And the dating is a big one, because that's how you could tell very early how generous a man is. It's going to be during dating. So when he takes you out to eat, watch how he acts when you order certain things on the menu, or if he suggests what you order, or if he talks about how the bill is going to go. You need to watch out for little things like that when you're dating. I want to tell you guys a story. So I had a homegirl. Of course, I'm not cool anymore. I'm not cool with anybody really. But I had a homegirl who went out on a date with a guy a couple of times. And this time in particular, this is her telling me the story back, of course. This one time in particular, she tells him what restaurant she wants to go to, what time they're going to meet. I think she even coordinates outfits, right? So the man meets her there. They had been dating for maybe a week or two, so it wasn't very long at all. But he had been trying to sleep with her before this one date I'm telling you about right now, and she wouldn't go. Did she sleep with that man? I don't think she slept with him. Women lie every day, so who knows? She might have slept with him, but this last day, okay, so the man meets her there. When he meets her there, they order food, they order drinks, they have laughs, and the bill comes. And when the bill comes, he hands it to her. So she's confused, right? So he was like, well, you invited me out. You picked the place, you picked the time. So you took me out on this date, so I'm expecting you to pay. And do you know what this woman does? She pays it. She paid the bill. Now, see, it couldn't have been me, because a man would have told me to pay the bill, and I'd been like, give me one moment, and I would have walked out of all the way to the car, all the way to the whip. He wouldn't even seen it coming. I would have left so quick. His head would have spun. Absolutely not. So I'm just telling y'all, like, men are slick. They're gonna try you if they can. I've been tried like that. I had this one guy when I was very young. I had to be like maybe 19, and he took me out on a date, and I'll never forget this. We went to IHOP. While we were at IHOP, we were planning on going to a movie right after, right? So I'm thinking we vibing, we on a date and stuff like that, because we had been talking for a few weeks or whatever. And he was older than me, so I'm just expecting more from him. He wasn't a lot older, but he was at least 3 or 4 years for sure. So we laughing, and mid joke he says, so what were you planning on doing for this like meal right here? Like, do you want to split it? Do you want to pay? Do you want me to pay? Like, how do you want it to go? But because he asked me that crazy question to insult me like that, like, you know you're going to pay. But listen, this is what I did. I said, I think we could split the check. He said, really? I said, yeah. He said, you sure you're cool with it? I said, absolutely. And I split the check with him, and then we left out, and he said, okay, so what movie theater you want to head to? And I said, actually, we're not going to go to a movie theater. He said, what you mean? What's going on? I said, I won't be seeing you again. He said, why not? I said, because I just paid for my meal in there, which tells me you don't see me the same way that I see you. So I think this is going to be the end of our journey here. And he says to me, well, Janique, I asked you if you wanted me to pay. I said, I shouldn't tell you that I want you to pay. You already know that I expect that out of you. But because you're acting like it's up for debate, I'm going to let it be up for debate. You want to be friends? We're friends. And he's like, I didn't mean it like that, but it's too late. You already left that impression on me, and I'm good on you. And that day I figured out he wasn't the one for me. And you know what? He hopped in my DMs. Let me read this DM. Because these men, all they do is they come right back around. So like I said, that's when I was 19, y'all, and I'm 31. He messaged me, said I'm still cold, with a blue smiling freezing face emoji, a fire emoji, and a heart face emoji, because I posted a picture of myself the other day. So his loss. He's still single, by the way, but I know he wasn't the one for me. Let's sum this up, okay? You're gonna match energy again. That's how you know if a man is the one for you. If you find yourself matching good energy, right? He's texting you first all the time. Send him a text first. Like, it's nothing to reciprocate, because that's what relationships are all about, give and take. You don't want to seem like you're a person who just takes and never gives. But what I'm basically saying is, you don't want to be out here making a fool of yourself. I just told you earlier, people are being fools for love. I don't know how it's 2024 and people are still getting played. People are still getting cheated on. People are still getting done wrong. How is this possible? If you don't take a stand for what you want in a partner, especially when it comes to a long-term partner, then you'll never get what you want. It's so important to spot out the right people for you. So a man is going to constantly give you signs. He's going to use words, and he's going to show you by his action. All of that will tell you if he's the one for you. So if you're not communicating, he's not taking you out, he's not investing in you, because when a man spends money on you, he's more apt to stay with you. Okay? The more money he spends, I'm telling you, men want to protect their investment. So just pay attention to the men in your life. Don't be looking crazy out here in these streets. Okay? You want to match a man's energy immediately. I'm telling you right now, immediately. He being rude, off rip, he's cut. He's cut off. Sometimes that's the way you match energy. It's not always about tit for tat. It's about cutting off, okay? So if a man ain't doing what he's supposed to do, I told you guys, 72 hours. You give a person 72 hours. You just meet a man, 72 hours. The clock is ticking. You know, one time I had met a guy in the mall when I was in Miami, and he came and talked me up in front of my friend, and we were in line, and he didn't care about the people who were coming to buy stuff or whatever. He sat right there and talked to me the whole time. He offered to take me on a trip. He promised me a couple of things in that little interaction together, and he got my number. And when he left, do you know he did not text me for 2 weeks, y'all? 2 weeks. When I got that text that said, "Hey, beautiful, this is so-and-so, we met in the mall, blah, blah, blah. I've been pretty busy, but I got some time now. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah." Let's take a vote. Do you think I did A? Do you think I responded? Or did I do B? I left him for dead. Left him for dead. No, he's not getting no type of response. A man who takes 2 weeks to text me after he got my number is not a man for me. Period, point blank. 2 weeks is a long time. A lot can happen in 24 hours. And that's how I want you to start thinking about it. Time is ticking. If a man do something you don't like, guess what? I'm not saying do something that he doesn't like. I'm just saying match his energy. His communication ain't up to par. Your communication's not going to be up to par either. He don't let you see him. Okay, when it comes time for him to want to see you, you're unavailable. Period. He don't want to call you his girl. Guess what? When it's time for you to call him your man, he won't be that. He don't want to treat you like you his girl. He want to remind you you're not his girl all the time. Guess what? Show him he's not your man. Do nothing for him. Don't give him anything. Be like, my man. I love saying this. I love saying this. I only do so-and-so for my man. A man asks me to cook and we ain't together. I tell him, I only cook for my man. You got two choices after that. Either you're going to be him or you're going to never ask me nothing else again because you know better. Okay? So if you ain't trying to be him, don't ask me nothing else. A man be like, send me a picture. I'm sorry. I only send pictures to my man. I'm confused. What are you talking about? Call me. This the one I love. A man say, call me. An ex say, FaceTime me. An ex say, hit me up. Guess what you say? I only hit up my man. Especially one that told you wasn't his girl. I only hit up my man. I only talk to my man on the phone. I only FaceTime my man on the phone. A man FaceTime you and he ain't acting right, turn off your camera. Only my man can see me. Period. And y'all know what I'm finna say next, especially when it comes to your goods. No, you can't get none. You're not my man. A man won't even claim you. He won't even give you a word, a title. He won't even give you that little word. Girlfriend. He won't even say that. And you're giving it up to him. Absolutely not. So make sure you pay attention to what I said about how you can tell whether or not a person is the one for you, okay? They're going to show you every day through words, through actions, through time, through energy. They're going to put it right in your face. I don't care what they say. Their actions won't lie. Period. Okay? Do not be misled, okay? Let's go ahead and hop into a few scriptures. So this one is 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. And it says, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. These men are not capable of love because they don't know God. If they knew God, they would know that God is love and they'd be showing that type of love to you. What's so important as well, I want you to remember this in your next relationship. You need to be picking out a man who knows God, who loves God. Because if he knows God and if he loves God, he's going to do whatever to please God. And you know what comes along with pleasing God? Treating you right. Treating you right. He can't be a POS if he loves God. The Spirit won't let him. So don't be misled. Don't be deceived. I had a lot of men in my past try to use spirituality to connect with me. I think I told y'all one time, I don't know if I went into detail, but I had a guy pretend to be a whole Christian when he was really a Muslim just to get close to me. Ridiculous. Like, I've had men go to church with me, not even interested in the Lord, just there to try to get with me. It's ridiculous. So don't be deceived. Find you a man that loves God. So if he don't love God, guess what? He ain't the one. Period. Now this is John chapter 14, verse 15. It says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. I just told you guys that a man who loves God is going to be a man of God. He's going to be keeping his commandments. He's not going to be trying to get you to sin or anything like that. He's going to be following the word of God and leading you to do the same. Okay, my last serious relationship before the one that I'm in right now, I was dating a guy and we actually connected on the word of God. So that's how our relationship started, us talking about God, us diving into God together. And I really thought he was a God-fearing man, right? We had took commitments to stay out of the club together, to not drink, and a list of other things. And I thought we were on the same page until I realized he was lying about working. He was actually out in these streets. He was still in the club. He was still drinking. He was still turning up. Of course, it's always hidden from me. But what's done in the dark will always come to light. So eventually he couldn't hide his sins anymore, right? Everything came out. I found out that he was in the club. I found out he was actually alcoholic, y'all.
Wow.
And I found out he was really in the streets for real. And you know what's crazy? I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get him to act right every single day. Like, it was a consistency thing. Like, some days he'd act right, and then he'll have a few off days, and then he'll have a good week, and then he'll have an off day. And it's always things like that. But I realized he secretly really hated me because he could not commit to his walk with God. And because he couldn't commit to his walk with God, because he had trouble committing to his Lord and Savior, he couldn't stand the thought of being around me. He felt like I judged him. He felt like that was too much pressure to do the right thing when he was around me. So I let him go. I gave him back to the streets. And here he go. I think we have him in my DMs as well. Let me see. Now, the last guy was on Instagram, but this guy is on TikTok. And let me check. He in my message request. Let me see. Let me see. It says, really miss you so much, even though you hate me. Nah, I don't hate you. I don't rock with you. You ain't no friend of mine. I don't F with you. You know what I'm saying? But I don't hate you. I feel sorry for you, actually. He was fighting too many demons around me. And every time I was around him, the demon it got worse and worse. Like, especially when he was drinking, like, he was always on 10. But I had to get him back to the streets because he wasn't the one for me. I realized he wasn't actually a man of God. I realized he was a false prophet. I realized the words he had been given to me and the words he pretends to give to his clients and stuff like that when he's at work, they're all false. They're a facade. They're an illusion. It's a trick of the enemy. He's a wizard. He's a manipulator. But I told you guys that story to let you know a man will act like he's a man of God. But it's up to you to spot the fakes. It's up to you to spot the counterfeits. It's up to you to call it out when you see it. And this brings me to my next scripture. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 8. And it says, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. Now listen, God says love is patient. So if you're with a partner or you're dating somebody or seeing somebody and they're not patient, they don't love you. So I don't care what they say, they don't love you. They're not the one. Love is kind. If you're with a person and they're unkind, guess what? You know they're not the one for you. God is telling you right here what love is. Okay? It says love does not envy or boast. So love is not going to be envious. So you're not going to envy the person you're with, and they're not going to envy you if the love is present. This is how you know a person is the one for you. They're not going to envy you. Now it says it doesn't boast as well. So it's not going to be haughty. It's not going to be bragging. It's not going to be any of that. Nobody will be doing that when they're in a partnership with you, when they're the one for you. They won't be boastful. It says it's not arrogant or rude. So nobody's going to go about dealing with you in an arrogant way or in a rude way if they're the one. If the love is going to be there. Because love is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It's willing to compromise with you. It's not their way or the highway. It's both of y'all's way. Okay? It said it is not irritable or resentful. So it's not going to easily get annoyed by the things you do, by you wanting time, attention, communication, affection, date nights, flowers. It's not going to be irritable about those things. So that's how you know if a man is the one for you or not. Is he irritable? Is he resentful? Does he resent you for certain things? Does he blame you for his outcome, for his circumstances? Does he blame you? You need to be aware of these things, okay? It said, love does not rejoice at wrongdoings. Okay, so they're not going to be happy to hurt you if they're a man from God. If they're the one for you. If they're the one for you, they'll rejoice in the truth. They're going to be nothing but open and honest with you. You won't ever have to question a man of God. It said love bears all things. So you're going to find someone that's willing to go through it with you. Everybody's scared to get heartbroken. I'm so tired of people using that as an excuse. Everybody's scared to get their heart broken. It's your job to fight through the fear. That's how you know God is present, because you're able to fight through the fear to reach the love. Okay? So you're going to bear all. You'll be able to tell your partner as well as they'll be able to tell you, hey, I'm scared to do this. I've been hurt in the past. I've been done wrong. I've been cheated on. I've been lied to. I've been left and abandoned. They're going to tell you these things so you guys can work through them together if they're the one. It said it believes all things. So they're going to trust you and you're going to be able to trust them as well. Okay? It says hopes all things. They're going to believe that the future with you is possible and vice versa. That's how you know they're the one for you. It says it endures all things. So their love is not going to be conditional. It's going to be unconditional if they're the one for you. Now it said love never ends. So it's not going to stop because they don't like the way you look today. It's not going to stop because you gained some baby weight. It's not going to stop because you didn't cook today, because you're too tired to get up and do your womanly duties. Like, it's not going to do any of that. Love never ends. I got one more scripture for you guys. It's 1 John chapter 4, verse 12. It says, no one has ever seen God. If we love one another, God abides in us, and his love is perfected in us. So what I noticed is there are a lot of men out there who aren't God-fearing men. So you may run into this when you're on your search for love, okay? You have to make people understand, as well as I hope you understand, no one ever sees God. God is inside of us. It says right here in the scripture, his love is perfected in us. This is how we get to experience God in other people. We get together with somebody who is equally yoked to us. So if a person doesn't believe in God, which is something they can't even see, how are they going to believe in you and your love? They won't be able to. And it's okay. It just means that they aren't the one for you. In the next video, I'll be telling you how to prepare to be a wife. So I'll be able to expand on some of the things that I talked about in this video. So make sure you check that out. But I also hope you enjoyed this message today. If you did, make sure you check out some of my other messages. And I will see you in the next video. Janique here, Janique TV. Peace.